Yo everyone, we're back of Trails to Daybreak 2. Last time we had a bunch of fun in the sun. And some less fun in the sun. I kind of forget. No, we mainly just fucked around and did like connection quests and stuff like that. Until eventually it got to nighttime and a bunch of more people got here. This time around, I'm on the beach for no particular reason, in all honesty. I just kind of wandered down here. But we have our NPC rounds to deal with. We have some connection events.
What's next?
Apparently only 2 of them. Oh wait, no, we have 2 points of it. I see. Yeah, these are interesting ones, it seems like. First, let's deal with the NPC rounds first. Cause we got quite a few people to talk to. Starting with these 4 bastards here. Well, the foremost fighter, huh? Color me intrigued. If it isn't the direwolf and the immovable. Talk about a rare opportunity. What do you say to finally nailing down which school is the strongest? The Taito or the Gekka? Come on, you're not really planning on fighting him, are you? Don't interfere, little dancer boy. Who are you calling little dancer boy? I'm not exactly a Taito through and through, but I'll admit, it's an interesting proposition. Want to give him a run for his money's in? I'd never agree to such a reckless fight, is what I should say. But if you can manage to find a battleground that's far enough away from the villa, I'll consider your offer. You're just gonna give him what he wants? I can't help being curious. After all, wouldn't it be nice to know what makes him the best of the Gekka? I don't really give a shit what school he's from. As far as I'm concerned, we're just fighting for the title of who's strongest. Well then, let's hope you two are enough to sate my hunger. These guys are clinically insane. Tell me about it. It's insane when you have 4 people talking and Aaron's the most sane in the group. Aaron, I know what you're gonna say. Starting shit with Sal at this point won't get me anywhere. I'll give him his just desserts one of these days. For now, it's vacation time. By the way, Arkride, you practice the Konlun style, right? Not really. You probably only call me an initiate at best. I've got a bad feeling about this. That means we have someone from each of the 3 major disciples here. What say you to start an inter-school battle royale? I say no! And that's all 3 of them have to say. Alright. Yeah, stay away from them. It ain't gonna do no one any good. What we got over here? Oh, what the hell? You? I agree, Zeros. Oh, shut your trap, you damnable dog! Or are you too primitive to even understand human speech? What did I just walk in on? This blasted mud is assaulting me! Though maybe the fault is mine for expecting it to have proper obedience training from a rotten Spriggan. Zeros wouldn't just start barking at you for no reason. Oh, what does it even matter? Just get the stupid thing away from me! Speaking as someone who actually saw what transpired, this woman here had captured that canine drone and was attempting to dismantle it. Oh really? You tried to get the drop on Catcher's little buddy. Sounds to me like this dirtbag dog napper needs a little obedience training herself. Let's not be hasty now. This mud had higher specs than I anticipated, so it broke right through the trap I prepared. As for you, learn to hold that tongue and mind your own business. Besides, you've been watching ever since I set the trap. Don't act so holier than thou when you didn't do a thing to stop me. I simply didn't feel my intervention. My intervention was necessary for your little farce to fall apart. Oh, that does it! You've riled me up for the last time, altar boy! What the hell is this? What if it's a right? Sorry I had to go through that one, buddy. But at least it sounds like you had everything under control. Too bad we have to share this vacation with the person who gives pain in the ass a whole new meaning. I should tell Catcher about this later. It would seem that this Zect Arms woman has yet to learn her lesson. Yeah, it's putting it mildly. Rats and double rats! How did I wind up in this cluster ball? I should have mobilized my men to restrain this mechanical mud from the start. Whatever, weirdo.
This looks like a good fishing spot.
What else we got? Anyone else chilling out here? Aha, yes. Pick a fight with me one more time and you're getting shipped off this island in a body cast. Is that a promise? Hearing that only makes me want to mess with you more. Hell? Do I look like I'm joking? Settle down now, you two. But I'd very much like to see how a showdown between you two would play out. You wouldn't want to spoil the wonderful dinner we just had. Why don't the four of us converse a bit? Chances like these don't come very often, you know.
Damn. You've really got an all-star table here.
Chance encounters such as these could only happen at a luxury resort. I don't really care to get chummy with an Ikaruga bigwig, but you know what they say about missed opportunities. In that case, let me ask you something I've been dying to find out for a while now. Just how powerful is the head of the Gralsritter? You refer to Ein Selnet, yes? She is a person of interest to the Marduk company as well. Yeah, one of these days she'll get to properly exist instead of just being, like, mentioned offhand a million times and be told about in Kevin's backstory. Oh, is this the same woman that the Carnelia series was based on? I've been curious about her for a while myself. They say she's as strong as she is beautiful. Yeah, you're better off not lumping the book character in with the commander. Anyone on this continent who could go toe-to-toe with her at her best would have to be in the same league as the Golden Rakshasa. Damn, didn't think we'd be mentioning Aurelia here. The Golden Rakshasa. That would be the famed former general of the Empire, Aurelia Le Guin. The two of them are on equal playing field says quite a bit on its own. Isn't it kind of funny though? Like, doesn't Ein use like a crossbow or something like that? It feels like putting her in the same realm as some of the others. Or did she use a Templar sword? I was gonna say if it's like a Templar greatsword, yeah, sure, I get it. But if she uses like a crossbow, it kind of feels weird to put her in the same field as like physical weapon users or something like that, you know what I mean? She doesn't come out from behind the curtain much, but screw with her and even you'd get burned. That's just first start. You don't say. Well, now we just have to throw down. Maybe I could put in a 4-SPG of the van and have him lure her out somewhere. I wouldn't be so certain. As if I'd be stupid enough to accept it. What do you think the S in 4-SPG stands for? Suicide? Maybe. While we're asking questions, I once read a book about these fantastical beings in the East known as yokai. Have you ever come across one, Miss Misurugi? Yeah, locals would use that word for some of the creatures I've run into. They skedaddled the second I came anywhere close, though. So those yokai are probably nothing special. They probably thought a battle-starved maniac like you was even more of a freak than they were. How very intriguing.
Can't keep up with this at all, but it does look like they're having a good time.
Oh, Rosetta has something extra, though.
Incidentally, I spoke with Mr. Al-Fayed recently. In accordance with both our risk management AI's predictions and Mr. Thorndyke's wishes, he has come with some of his security team's most elite members. Perhaps this isn't my place to say, but although Marduk's goals align with ours, it may be prudent to remain attentive to how the situation develops.
Yeah. Okay, it's just the same thing. I can't talk to them individually or anything. We got these three now.
So, what are you all up to?
Oh, Van. Hello. Hey, I figured you guys would like to take back a few mementos from your trip, so I've been shooting some photos. I'm developing all the film in my room. She was actually just showing us all the pictures she's taken so far.
Oh? Got anything good?
Well, she did manage to get a shot of fairy stuff in her face, and a few of her smiling as well. Oh, and she was also able to capture one of the most beautiful rainbows I've ever seen. She even caught a few pictures of some of the island's rare birds. All of your pictures are so nice, Marielle. Do you think you'd be willing to make copies for me?
Guess you've been hard at work, huh? Sounds like you're getting pretty crafty with that camera, too.
Well, it's all part of the job, you know. I'm sure you've heard of the old adage, a picture is worth 1,000 words. I can't just be good at writing articles. I gotta make sure I get some good shots in. Well, all the pictures you've taken here have been incredible. Yes, I agree. I'm sure you'll all be as skilled as professional photographers in no time. You guys are too nice.
That's sweet.
Speaking of photography, have you all seen any movies recently?
I remember you saying you really liked my debut film, Agnes.
That makes me smile whenever I think about it.
Actually, would you like to know a few things that happened behind the scenes?
Yes, of course.
Oh man, if your fans knew the Nina Fenley was sharing all her exclusive stories with us, they'd positively drop dead from envy. All my recording devices are somewhere else at the moment, so everything you say is 100% off the record.
Damn, kind of interested myself, but I think they're having girl time right now. Probably best if I leave them to it.
Oh, speaking of photos, taken several with you in them, Van. I'll pass them out to you and the rest of your crew once they've developed.
Well, I ain't gonna look a gift horse in the mouth.
I had so much fun talking with Nina and Marielle that I almost forgot why we were even here. I have to remember this isn't an idle vacation. We have to figure out why that invitation was sent, and why all these people have been gathered here. Hopefully we can uncover all that in our investigation tomorrow.
One can sure hope.
I've had so many wonderful conversation partners today, Anis and Marielle included. It's a shame the weather forced us to change course to Nemeth Island on such short notice. But we did get a great shoot out of it, not to mention a chance encounter with all of you. Maybe this detour worked out for the best.
Mayhaps. That was a fun one.
The kids. This looks fun. You guys doing some stargazing?
Oh, hey Van. God, Fairy always looks so bald when I see her in this outfit without like the scarf. Like it really, you know, there's quite a few of the characters have like, oh, here's this outfit, but with less on it. But with Fairies in particular, it just feels raw. I heard the villa had a telescope somewhere in the storage, so I asked if I could borrow it for a few hours. The air is crisp and clear, and light pollution is practically non-existent out here compared to Edith or Bossel. It all helps to make the stars that much brighter.
Even I was amazed. I've never seen such a beautiful night sky before.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying yourselves. I'm sure it must be pretty breathtaking through the telescope.
Mr. Robot here's been teaching us all about constellations too. Yeah, this gray floaty thing's so cool. I've never seen anything like it.
Leave all astronomical observations to Theo. Maybe Theo's the real star here. They really have taught me a lot, though. Hey, Katra, do you have any other lessons for us? Katra?
You had a 1,000-arch stare for a bit there.
Sorry. I think the day's just finally catching up to me. Oh, I get what you mean. All that exploring we did can really burn you out. Yes, but back to constellations. I'm happy to answer whatever questions you have. You know, they're actually a rather big fascination of mine. I don't think I could ever get tired of talking about them. Something's up with Katra.
This has been a lovely evening so far. Still, I do worry that we're spending a bit too much time fooling around. I just hope that Harwood doesn't try anything. At least not tonight.
Well, it's either it happens tomorrow or we get randomly awoke later after we turn in. The stars are more visible here than in Bossel. One day, Theo would like Professor Hamilton to be able to see this wonderful sight. Fairy. I used to look up at the stars a lot during campouts back when I was with the Kruga. But this might be the most beautiful night sky I've seen so far. I don't think I'll ever forget it. You should do some stargazing on your own while you're here, Van. This part of the sky is only visible due to how far south the island is, so it really is worth it. Take it from someone with a penchant for astronomy. You know, this is kind of a long shot, but thinking about how south we are, we're almost as south as I think this is the furthest point we've ever gone south in all of Zemeria. Meaning that we're close to like the edge of the map. And we know that there's phenomena such as not being able to what am I trying to say? Not being able to go past a certain point in the sea, where you just end up, you've reached like an invisible barrier or something and you can never get farther away from the mainland. I wonder if through astronomy or something like that, you know, looking at the stars, looking at the sky, if Katra is able to, what am I trying to say? If Katra is able to do like some weird stuff, if he can like see like the line on the sky or something like that and see, because you know, you look at the horizon, you know, trails beyond the horizon and stuff like that, and you see beyond the veil in a way. And maybe he's able to like see things that other people wouldn't recognize, like discrepancies in the sky or something like that. Maybe I'm getting a bit too far thinking into it, but it's just kind of a thing I randomly thought about. If he's really into astronomy and he looks at the sky a bunch, then I feel like that type of stuff kind of tracks, you know? Come on. Ask me whatever you want. Kids will be kids. Yeah, some of this stuff I just think about on occasion. I have to bring it up in one way or another. God, this shit's still so funny just having Kuragane sitting here.
I've been wondering for some time now, what exactly is the story behind your attire? No need for alarm. This is merely a special effects costume.
Yeah, I guess you would have to play this off somehow.
Costume? I see. Forgive my wariness. Special effects, you said. How very intriguing. The design incorporates elements from Eastern folklore, but with a modern twist throughout. Moreover, the detailed weathering on the surface evokes the wear and tear of a genuine historical warrior. Impressively done. You have my compliments. To receive praise from the renowned Director Lam is an honor.
No way that's all there is to it.
I sympathize with your confusion, Director. After all, this island has had a sudden influx of new guests, including those of shall we say, seedier persuasion.
If that's the angle you're taking, then it's equally strange to see a man and woman of the cloth on a beach vacation.
Even Adios' servants require time to set down their burdens. Do feel free to reach out to me should the need ever arise, Director Lam. I once had the privilege of seeing Director Gotti at work, but I'm also curious about your process as well.
No way that's all there is to that either.
Thank you for the offer. We'll be in touch if the situation calls for it. On that note, I've been meeting one fascinating individual after another today. For example, if you'll allow me to let my imagination take flight. Before me sit 3 men burdened, the oldest by a tremendous duty, the younger by their weighty past. Being surrounded by so many dramatic inspirations really gets my creative juices flowing. Scary how on the mark he is. World-famous directors must have an eye for this sort of thing. This afternoon's location scouting was a massive success, thanks in no small part to your assistance. At this rate, we should be able to keep shooting from tomorrow onward. That right? Well, try to keep yourself safe out there.
I've seen a few of Director Lam's films. I don't really know what kind of person he'd be, but he's a surprisingly sensible person. At least that was my first impression anyway. Turns out he definitely has his idiosyncrasies.
Welcome to the world of creatives. Director Lam mentioned that you accompanied him and his crew on a location hunting excursion. I must admit I'm exceedingly jealous, but that you were able to share your good fortune. Yeesh, if only missing out the schmooze and ops could be the worst of our island getaway woes.
Meanwhile, you
never realized you were such a social butterfly. It would prove problematic were the princess to be scouted by the director. This is merely a preventative measure on my part. I see. Can't follow you on that one.
Preventative measure? What, is he worried that like Shizuna's gonna have the same type of fate befall her as like frickin' Risha, where she starts working at like a troupe? Or like working in entertainment?
Sure are a lot of colorful characters here, huh?
And a fair number of them seem to belong to society's shadows at that. I think we can count on them to exercise a basic level of decency for now. What truly concerns me is that we have yet to see the owner of this resort. If you're that hung up about it, why not cut your vacation short and get off the island?
I definitely considered it. But that would mean leaving Katra here. Plus, I'd feel left out heading home this early. We'll just have to see what tomorrow brings.
That may be for the best. I'll be lending my full cooperation toward keeping everyone safe. So please rest easy and enjoy your time off.
Sorry if my voices sound a bit off. I have a bit of a scratchy throat, and I have a different setup on my mic, which is probably very noticeable, and maybe it's a bit crackly or something like that. And apologies, but hopefully that'll be a one-time thing. I also just really wanted to get this recording out because it's already been 2 days without that, and I hate when I have like an insane amount of days without uploading anything, you know? The guilt catches up to me easy.
I'll just leave the worrying to you then.
I knew we should have brought a larger security retinue. Of course, as far as their highness's welfare is concerned, the safest option would be to avoid the trip entirely. Never mind. There's no sense wasting time on hindsight.
Esmeralda.
Running to Katra and ex-CEO Tossund are only a few of the ways this vacation has been going off course. It's a bit more exciting for it, though.
You take things in so much stride that's almost comforting.
You know, I wanted to mention something. Van with his coat, you know, he seems natural looking, but when I see him like this, something about the structure of Van is weird. Like, looking at it from behind like that, maybe it's the way that his arms rest or like the proportions on it, but something feels weird looking at him with just this outfit. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it has to do with his arms. Something about it just kind of looks off, and I don't know what, and I just felt the need to say it.
The guild has been trying to gather more information about Almada's legacy. Honestly, I wish that we had a little bit more to go on. Don't stress. Our team's pretty used to rolling with the punches at this point. And we are as well. That said, it's always best to be prepared for the unexpected.
True. Let me try going outside, making sure. Nothing else in this one. Meaning we just got a few other friends over here to talk to. Oh, this trio. Random thought, but we've got the makings of a real dream team here.
The three of us together.
Not sure I see how.
The Golden Butterfly can use her screw the rules skill to cut through space and warp us into buildings. Then, Grimcat can use her styling thief techniques to snatch the object. That way we can burglarize any place we want, no matter how tight their security is.
And where do you fit into this?
I'll be the one in charge of holding our plunder up high on the rooftop and cackling hysterically.
Please pick someone that helps the heist.
Wait, why am I even playing along with this loosey-goosey trio?
But I thought Lucy Goosey was Grimcat's whole deal.
Since when?
Personally, I find the idea quite amusing. Such a thing could stoke Blue Blanc's competitive spirit enough to spur him into sending a light of challenge.
Blue Blanc. Wait, you mean Thanon Thief B?
Ooh, now we're talking.
This isn't something to be excited about. You know, Judith kind of plays the straight man in a lot of conversations similar to Van. It's kind of funny to see in those regards.
I'm trying to dig up some intel on the enemy.
What, from the Golden Butterfly?
Yep. I use every non-violent interrogation technique in the book, but turns out she's a tough nut to crack. You should just stop wasting my time and tell us what that old man's hiding in. What hole that old man's hiding in already.
Yeah, I doubt she'll let the cat out of the bag that easily. Also, you do know she's like 5 reads away from you, right?
Oh, I know she can hear me. I'm trying the passive-aggressive route now.
Yeah, good luck with that.
You're exactly as amusing as the professor made you out to be. Why, we're practically co-workers once or twice removed. Ugh, you just had to go there, didn't you? Excuse me if I don't like the idea of palling around with the right hand of the garden's deadbeat dad.
Wow!
My, such biting words. They certainly have some history between them. Looks like they might be able to get along, maybe?
Meanwhile, Judith.
I sat in on these two in case sparks started flying, but the vibe turned out to be way more mellow than I expected.
You're actually on a pretty similar wavelength, weirdly enough. And yet, you're sitting there all the same, dealing with it. Oh god. This is a arrangement of individuals.
Perfect timing, Van. Why don't you join us for a glass or two? Indeed, you'd be a more than welcome addition. It's an honor to be invited and all, Your Highness. But I ain't exactly on drinking buddy terms with the whole table here. Oh, now, you needn't be so circumspect over a bit of idle conversation. Speaking of which, it would seem that Elsheim's enterprises have been making efforts to expand into the Republic. This will likely lead to competition with Valis-based companies over the same market share. Perhaps you'd be willing to accept our help in this matter. I believe we could be of much use to you. Borrowing the aid of the Kowloon Group is about the most reliable choice we can make. Though I'll have to keep a close eye on what the newly found Lee family is capable of from here on. Meticulous as always, Your Highness. Incidentally, the Marduk Company's performance this year was quite a sight to behold. Using AI for crisis management is something our principality seeks to emulate, to say nothing of the high mobility security force you lead.
I want to back off on the AI thing, you know, I don't think that's going to pan out in the long run.
You flatter us. In truth, we are merely adhering to Marduk's system. If you have an interest in our company's affairs, I can arrange for a meeting with our general manager. Still on guard, are we? But yes, I do feel that a formal discussion would be worth having. No offense, Prince Reed, but you couldn't pay me enough to join the mutual interrogation behind these poker faces. Seeing who exactly has gathered on Nemeth only confirms what the Marduk made the right call sending us here. You do well to tread carefully, man. It would appear Zeta has been expanding her social circle ever since we arrived. That girl has a promising future ahead. I almost shudder to think of it. Our host is devising something very bold indeed, gathering such disparate personages to Nemeth Island. In the end, will the Lee family prove a blessing or a curse for Hayway? Only time will tell.
Sure. What do we got up here? I think that's everyone to talk to, so now we can check out what's going on over here. Maybe I should save first, just in case. You never know.
Huh. Pretty sure this is Walter and Tossen's room.
What the fuck? What? Walter and Tossen?
Feel kind of bad that Tossen has to share a room with that guy.
That is a fucking insane room pairing.
Wait, I hear voices and... Is that someone crying?
Why me? Oh, it's him.
I've been cursed. Yeah, it's gotta be Tossen. Sounds like he's not in the best mood either. I should pop in real quick to check on him. Click, clack, clack. Hey there. Sorry for barging in. Spriggan! What are you doing here? Oh, nothing. Just thought I heard someone blubbering their eyes out and figured I should look into it. Runeth Walter's that bad, huh? I wasn't blubbering. Do I look like the blubbering type to you? Well, I certainly am not pleased to share a space with that brute. There are 4 more concerning matters on my plate at the moment. Okay then, lay it on me. What's the problem? There's this reporter named Marielle. You know, the one who was taking pictures for tourists earlier today. Yeah, I know her. Looked like she was giving them away, too. Well, a little while ago, I received a few pictures of my own from her. That's when I saw it. A strange white shadow hovering over me. Oh, brother, that's what got you so upset? Hey, this is a big deal, alright? Here, see for yourself.
Alright, what do you got?
Huh. There really is something there. This is taken out in front of the abandoned church, right? Wonder what this haze is. See? I told you there was something strange going on. It must be a ghost. It's been haunting me this whole time. Well, at least you got a pretty cool picture out of it. How could you be so blaze about this? This is... or blasé? I think it might be blasé. This is evidence of paranormal activity. Ghosts! Caught on camera! Even modern science hasn't been able to provide proof of the afterlife. How are you not absolutely petrified? I don't know what to tell you. If the higher elements are at work here, I wouldn't be so surprised that a place like that was teeming with ghostly-looking monsters. Lots of stuff that can't be explained with science. Doesn't mean you're being haunted. You must take me for a fool. I should have known you wouldn't understand. First I had to deal with that horrible incident in Basel last year, then I lost my job, and now I can't even take a proper vacation. I'm positive it's all because of this evil spirit. Simply no other explanation. As long as it's got its claws in me, my life will be filled with nothing but misfortune. How will I rid myself of this horrible affliction? Look, if you're that scared, why don't you try and figure out what the white blob actually is? Sure, it looks like a ghost, but maybe it's just when people see celebrities in their toast or something. Why toast? Of all things, why like toast? You could have said cereal, you could have said clouds, you could have said anything. I suppose the unknown is sometimes more scary than the truth. How do you suggest we investigate the identity of a ghost? The very idea is ridiculous. Don't worry, I know a couple kids. Yeah, can I get the mystery gang on the line? Actually, I think there may be a few people on this island that know a thing or two about spirits. Plus, I'd hate to leave them like this. If I ignore it all, it might just become even more of a headache. Hope we can get to the bottom of it.
Yeah. Gray. How about us?
Well, you mean your 4 SPGs? As luck would have it, I know some people on the island right now who could be considered paranormal specialists. With their help, I'll be able to figure out the truth behind your little ghost problem. And hey, if it really is a ghost, all you have to do is exercise it. Figure that'd be a lot more constructive than some sitting here freaking out about it anyway. As much as your skepticism irks me to no end, you do make a good point. Fine, I formally request your services. Although I'm not sure how far I trust these specialists of yours. Guess it's a deal. In that case, mind if I borrow that picture? Gladly. In fact, I'd rather you have it anyway. Alright then, I'll get back to you after I talk to Mario and the others. Actually, might even have time to come by to give you a once-over too. Just wait here for now. Of course, but make sure quick. Please. Guess I should go find Mario then. Yeah. For the Girls Ritter. Was ever all that good at the whole clairvoyance thing? She probably just stick to hitting up her partner. And there's Shizna. I think she mentioned something about having spiritual powers back when Mare possessed Yume. Possessed Yume might be useful. At least one of them's capable of this mess. Okay, so I just gotta talk to all 3 of them? Ghost photo. Look around the island at night.
Got a question for you.
Hello, Leon. Sorry to spring this on you out of nowhere, but can I get your take on something? Why, certainly. It is the clergyman's duty to lend an ear to those who seek one, no matter how disreputable they may be. Could have gone with that the last bit, but thanks. But over here. So you wish to know what this ghost really is? I'm not sensing anything odd from this picture itself, but knowing it was taken on this island does make me wonder. Huh. It's a bit more ominous than I was expecting. I think I should meet with Tossend. I'll explain in more detail there. Oh, are you a priest of the Septian Church? That's correct. My name is Leon, and I'm what some call a traveling priest. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. The picture Van shared with me didn't give so much to go on, so I thought it would be best to meet with you directly. So, do you think there's something going on with them?
Was there other options I could have done? Is this like there's multiple ways to solve this type thing?
Worry not, friend. I don't sense any spirits on your person. Really? That's certainly a relief to hear from a priest. However, it would be prudent to keep your wits about you. This whole island has been stained by some sort of stagnant energy. What? What do you mean stained? Just as it sounds. I felt a very particular sensation ever since we stepped foot here. It's as if a dark cloud is looming over the entire island. I won't know more till I've had a chance to conduct a more thorough investigation, however. At any rate, it's not uncommon for spirits to congregate in places with an excess of energy. Even if you aren't being actively haunted at the moment, it's still possible that someone has its eye on you. I'd suggest you stay indoors after nightfall. I would also be mindful not to get into any mishaps during the day either. Oh, I see. So much for being relieved. Well, this is definitely a strange turn of events. Thanks for the help, Leon. Not at all. I'm glad to be of service. If you have no further need of me, I'll go ahead and take my leave, but farewell, bye-bye, I'm out of here. I keep my word down.
Okay, so it's just one by one. Work at it here, I see.
Got a question for you.
The ghost photo at the front desk this time. Manager and all, thought maybe you might have some idea. Can talk of any ghosts around here. Odd disturbances, tell me about them. Walk one night, enormous terrifying shadow. Possibility of monster. Wild animal. Paranormal site, I don't know. Let's see, provide you with more information. Alright, well that one was just kind of simple, just like, yeah, a few things around town, people have been seeing shit, I don't know.
Got a question for you.
Bit by bit here. I didn't realize I caught a ghost in one of my pictures. It's not my fault that Mr. Tossin's so on edge about it. If only I had checked them beforehand. I should go and apologize.
It's not your fault. Pretty sure the guy's as paranoid about anything and everything. Anyway, do you usually see stuff like this in your photos?
I wouldn't say it's common, but I've definitely taken some that were pretty similar. My coworkers at the Tyrell Times have said I'm the only one who's had this issue. Part of your luck coming into play, I suppose.
Knack for capturing ghosts on film. Did you notice anything strange around the time that you took the picture?
No, I don't think so. I think it was sometime around dusk. I was just getting ready to turn in for the day, and that's when I spotted Mr. Tossend. He was trying to get inside the abandoned church, but it seemed like he'd given up. I figured I would take a picture so that he could have a nice keepsake. Oh, I almost forgot. That's the only picture I took the flash on. Although, that's about the only thing out of the ordinary that I can recall.
Flash, huh? Might have something to do with the haze, then. Thanks for the info, Mario.
Of course, happy to help. And last but not least, you already know who it be. I say as I actually walk past her because I'm a fraud. Why, hello, pretty lady.
So to cut into your fun, can I take a work-related question?
Sure, go for it. Gotta get away from the table here. Let's see. Chasing down a ghost, huh? Sounds like a pretty fun job. Kind of fit in for this island, don't you think?
What's that supposed to mean?
It's nothing to worry about. At least for the time being, anyway.
Look, if you're not going to tell me, you could at least stop being so ominous.
Anyway, to answer your question about my abilities. Yeah, I can detect evil spirits. I can even exorcise them, too. But based on this picture, I don't really think that's what you'll need from me. That's not to say Tossin isn't being haunted, though.
Well, would you mind stopping by to take a look at him? Get the feeling he wants a diagnosis straight from the horse's mouth.
Sure, I don't mind. Why don't we head over now? So 2 people get brought over to him.
Who are you, miss? Someone important from the east. Got a talent for seeing spirits, too.
My name's Shizuna. Nice to meet you, Mr. X CEO.
Yes, likewise. I don't believe I quite understand, but whatever insight you can offer would be most appreciated. Was there anything you noticed about the picture? Guess he's not going to comment on being called ex-CEO from her.
I didn't get the sense that there's something ghoulish going on, if that's what you mean. But I figured I could at least check you out, just in case.
Cool.
Yeah, just as I thought. You're no host to a ghost. You do seem to be giving off some pretty negative vibes, though.
Negative vibes?
I guess it make more sense to say he's irritated or annoyed. Here, let me put it like this. Strong negative vibes attract bad things. Usually it's just general misfortune, but other times it's evil spirits. Anyway, I don't know your situation, but I'd recommend trying not to worry too much. Do something to get out of the slump you're in.
Wow, wasn't expecting you to give the guy life advice. The reason I came here in the first place was to refresh myself. I've just had so much bad luck lately. Well, nevertheless, I appreciate your suggestion. However, none of that explains anything about the white haze in that picture of mine. Do you know what it could be?
Well, at the very least, I don't think it was a ghost or a human.
What's that supposed to mean?
I may know a thing or two about spirits, but I'm not a medium, you know? Guess it's just something you'll have to rack your brains about.
Alright then. Thanks again for your help. Yeah, thanks for your time.
Ciao. And out she goes. A lot of different opinions, nothing substantial. And then he goes to the church himself, because of course.
Huh? What are you doing here? Oh, it's you. I was just trying to familiarize myself with the terrain. But I noticed an unusual aura coming from the abandoned church. What do you mean? I'd say it's because you lack the proper training. Anyway, I'm assuming you have business over there. You could say that. Somebody asked me to take a look around for him.
Cast him the picture of Tassin and told him about his fears regarding the apparition.
I see. It would seem that Vern's former CEO still has a number of unresolved anxieties.
Yeah, he's got a few of those. Maybe a bit too many.
That being said, I'm surprised a Spriggan would even take on a job like this.
You know, when the paycheck calls.
What, got a problem with it? Only reason I took the guy on is because I didn't want him becoming any more carried away than he already is. Anyway, what did you think about the picture? Anything stand out to you? Not particularly. I thought the white blur was odd, but nothing more than that. I see. Guess we'll just have to keep digging. Well, shall we get going? We are going the same way, after all. You're not exactly my ideal partner, but after you, I suppose.
At least if we get jumped, the supposed strongest warrior or whatever will be able to take it down easy.
So this is it, huh? It sure is a lot more creepy at night. It's very odd for the Septian Church to leave behind ruins like this. You usually only find them near abandoned villages, evacuated due to ongoing conflicts in the area.
Now that you mention it, I guess it is pretty strange. Sorry. Readjusting my seat. Ugh.
Anyway, I got some investigating to do. This is where we go our separate ways. You'll find no argument from me. However, I would like to know how you end up resolving the issue. Thinking it might be related to that weird feeling you mentioned earlier? Yes, and I prefer to have as much evidence as possible before drawing any conclusions. Well, if I find anything on my end, I'll be sure to fill you in. I appreciate it. We'll speak later. Good luck.
Bye, Qasim.
Alright, still have no clue what made that white haze. Pick up a trail somewhere might lead me to the answer.
Something's there. Do a shard search.
Good old shardy searchy. See nothing there. Pattern makes me think that it's got some level of intelligence. No, it's human. Gotta be monster. Footprints are incredibly rough. Feel like I've seen them somewhere before. Is this gonna be related to someone else or something? Beat up orbital lighter lies. What's an orbital lighter doing here? Looks like it's been through hell and back. Still got some life left in it though. Doubt somebody from the villa would litter like this. Must belong to a tourist. Guessing they came out here at night to see how long they could hold out in a test of courage. Probably got so scared they dropped their lighter and ran for it. I was gonna say, there's definitely gotta be someone involved in like this piece of shit that I mentioned before, right? Medallion.
What's this, a medallion? Looks like it's got engraven Amadios on it. Seems pretty old.
Huh. Yeah, that seems like one of the ones that like a church member would have. Like one of the ones that like Kevin or held out or something.
It's all cracked too. Almost seems like somebody smashed it in her foot. Makes sense for someone like this to be left behind in an abandoned church, but something about it feels off. Guess that covers everything I wanted to look at. Anything else worth examining? Talk to Qasim. I didn't get a chance to look around for more.
I guess that probably was just kind of you looked at everything and get out.
Well, it's not like it's a big church. Figure out what that weird aura was all about? No. Seems like I was just a bit too late. It appears to be unrelated to your photograph issue, however. You don't say.
Excuse me. Oh, Marielle.
Marielle, what are you doing here?
What do you think I'm doing? I'm here to investigate the photo I took, of course. I felt kind of guilty, so I thought I might as well lend you a hand to make up for it. I figured you would want to take a look in the church, so I decided to come out here myself.
Lucky guess.
I didn't know you'd be working with someone from Marduk, though. Hope I'm not intruding.
Not at all. Actually, it might just be right on time. It would seem Van's determine the true identity of your ghost.
Already?
Well, it's pretty easy to piece together once you look at the evidence. First, there was the small round tracks I found. Then there was the abandoned lighter and the cracked medallion. But out of those three, the one that points to the identity of the white haze is...
Ah, shit. I'm definitely about to fuck this up, aren't I? The cracked medallion looks more like it's been here a bit or something like that. I don't know. Small round tracks. Maybe the abandoned lighter?
Abandoned lighter. I'm pretty sure some tourists dropped it when they were in the building last night. Probably lost it when they caught sight of our ghost and freaked out. Not exactly.
Fuck. Ah, whatever. Let me reload. Let me reload everything. Ugh. Thank you, autosave.
Small round tracks I found using the shard search. Those are the key.
Round tracks? What do you mean?
From them, we can infer that we're dealing with a monster that doesn't have legs. But if it could fly, there'd be no tracks at all, so it hops.
Oh.
Put that together with small and round, and there's only one thing it could be. A palm.
A palm? Sorry, I'm not super familiar with monsters. I'm drawing a blank.
Palms inhabit every region of Zemeria, so it's a little surprise that they'd be here as well. They're incredibly adept at blending into their surroundings. However, they're also quite skittish. Personally, I haven't seen many around lately, but I've heard there's been recent sightings of a special shiny type that glows. They come in a whole variety of colors, but the white one is the most common.
Maybe I've never seen one because they're so good at hiding. I guess the only question left is how that white haze or palm ended up in my shot.
Yeah, that's the important part. You said you had the flash on when you were taking the picture of Tassan, right? My guess is that our little friend was hiding outside the church but was startled when the light went off. Must have leapt behind Tassan at just the right moment.
Oh, you're right. That would explain everything. I'm not so sure Mr. Tassan will accept it unless we show him some kind of photographic evidence, though. You think we can get it to pop out again if we take another picture with the flash on?
I'm not so sure. Honestly, I feel like I probably spooked it just by entering the chapel because of my pure aura. Can't you see how cool I am? The way I talk, the way I walk. On the catwalk. But given the tracks that Van found, I assume it's still somewhere around here.
You think maybe it's too scared to come out? Guess we'll just have to find some other way to convince Mr. Tossend.
Actually, I think I can lure it out. We've come this far, right? Might as well get some solid proof. This should be interesting.
Huh?
Run!
Heavenly Halter!
It really worked. I better grab some photos.
That one isn't even white.
Ah,
How nimble. Should we give chase? Well, I can't just let him go. It'd be dangerous to let a monster roam around on the main road.
Got 1 SP.
Beat it up!
Thins like shit.
Looks like I got the little guy cornered. But he seems to have called for reinforcements. They're closing in on us.
What the fuck?
what are those things?
Stay calm and keep close. Allow me to lend a hand.
Well, this is an interesting turn of events here.
My move now.
It's okay though. We got the cool guy. Surely nothing bad'll happen now.
Here goes.
Rage.
Use a shark boost to get the upper hand.
I was gonna say, like, I don't know what else I'm gonna do here.
Strike. Chance.
I'm just gonna take a step back. Take it back now, y'all.
Time for the main event.
One hop this time. Bam. Two hop this time. A bam. Vandalize. Raid.
Boost gauge limiter unlocked.
There we go. Ow. All right, Kasim, please do something.
Wait.
There you go.
This one's yours, Homseen. Ready.
Shall not strike.
Nice damage. Decent damage.
Bring it on.
All right. Huh.
Go all out.
Let me just put one of these on.
This one's yours, Homseen.
All on strike.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to like.
Boost to get the upper hand.
Maybe I should like heal or something.
Stay on guard.
You know, I think people do that.
Here goes.
Give them your all.
All right, we did it once. That's all we gotta do. Now I just gotta hope that Kasim does something, which he clearly isn't. Oh, I think I just.
Reach your full power.
Bruh, this is not the time to buff yourself, you asshole. Oh my god, now we're dead. All right, now I gotta reset. Retry. This is kind of. It's kind of tough doing this when you have literally one party member, you know? All right, there we go.
All clear. Phew, that palm was a hell of a lot tougher than he looked.
Nice job, you two. I was able to get some great pictures during all the commotion. The palm was so fast, some of the shots came out a little blurry too. I'm sure Mr. Tossin will be convinced once he gets a good look at these.
Nice work, kid. Guess we'll be able to wrap up this job after all. What about you? Got anything else to take care of? Actually, I think I'll be retiring for the evening. I still have some lingering concerns, but it would be best to review the whole situation before taking action. I see. Review the situation, huh? Guess I should probably do that myself. Especially with all that weird stuff we've run into lately.
Well, if you're ready, what do you say we head back to the villa?
We're finally almost done with this.
You're right. This monster is about the same shape as the blur in the other photograph. Right? So you weren't actually being haunted.
The palm just happened to pop up in the middle of the shot.
Huh, that's all there was to it, huh? I'm ashamed at how much I let this whole thing ruffle my feathers.
I'm sorry, Mr. Tossin, it's all my fault. If I had just checked the photos more carefully before I handed them over, none of this would have happened.
If anyone deserves blame, it's that monster for getting in the way. This was no fault of your own.
Well, I appreciate you for saying that.
Still, if we take into account what Miss Shizna and that priest had to say, it sounds rather likely that we could encounter some spiritual phenomena in the future. Best to be prepared at any rate. Perhaps I'll go see if they happen to know of any good precautions to take.
Good point. From what they said, there's definitely something strange about this island. Spiritual or otherwise. Makes me think of this one other weird place I heard about. It was like Briconia, Brioche, something like that.
It was another island or something I heard about in the Empire. The situation's so complicated already, though. This just makes it worse.
Dan, are you alright?
Yeah, it's nothing really. Anyway, if you get into a pinch at night, you could always ask your roomie for help. I bet he'd be real happy to have someone to beat the shit out of. The only problem is the room might not be intact afterwards. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be comforting or terrifying, but I suppose I'll just have to consider it.
That you shall.
Whoa, okay, you're here.
Phew. I almost blew our cover.
Well, this is certainly a way to know that the evil people are here.
It's wild that he could tell we were around, even if he is the Comson. Worked out okay, though. The way things are going, tomorrow ought to be pretty entertaining.
Yeah, maybe. Not that I'm in a hurry to take on any extra work, though. Anyway, they're way more suspicious of the church now, so I'll switch it to a backup location for now.
Roger that.
Interesting. What the fuck?
Oh man, I'd sure like to go mess around with them a bit, but I guess we'll have to save that for later. Look forward to tomorrow, everybody. We're gonna have one hell of a time.
I like how they're
That
cutting them
takes
off
care
like
of
we
that.
don't know who those idiots are.
Deposit confirmed.
I'm kind of surprised they just showed that off, though. They basically just said, hey, look there's the people that are going to be involved later. Like, that's just kind of how it be. Run into the crown prince. Ba-da-ba-ba-da. Picture words time. Come here, I almost clear my head. All right. Now,
Planner launched.
planner launched. Yeah, I should definitely save before this one, shouldn't I? Before we get onwards to all of these. Now, which one do I care about least? Let's see. Sifting Church, Grolsritter. Train under a Master Bear Guard, which makes us all fellow pupils. 2 of them were heading somewhere, though. They brought their weapons with them. I see. Let's go with this one first. I think, despite the fact that I would like to max out their stuff, they're also only connection level 2, so I'm not going to have to put in as much effort, so I might be able to get it through other means. As for the others, though, I'm going to have to put in a bit more work, so let's just go with this one, and then I'll reload. Upon seeing Celis and Leon heading out, Van decided to follow in their direction. Ah, they're just training. You're wide open. Says who? So they came out here for a little spar, huh? Answers that question. Guess I'll just leave him to it then. Oh, seen enough already. Surely didn't just come all this way just to leave without saying so much as a hello to your fellow pupils. Ah, shit. Whoops. Didn't mean no disrespect. Just trying to stay in my lane. I spotted the 2 of you leaving and thought something might be up, so I came out to scope things out. As well as gain some insight as to why we're on Nemeth, I take it. I won't deny caution is a virtue, even when it comes to those that you once joined hands with. Okay, saw right through me. Just let me off with a slap on the wrist and I'll scram. Yeah? Could make like a tree and... Actually, hold that thought. Maybe you showed up just at the right time. Huh? Silas, I don't like that look in your eye. I'll lighten up for once. How often do we get a chance like this? We were thinking of taking a break after sweating it out a bit. We brought some of the good stuff, so why don't you stick around? The good stuff? It's gonna be sweet since it'd be like, fuck yeah! A few bottles of booze on a full moon, huh? Classy. To be honest, I was hoping you'd have some Holy City sweets to pass around, but I can roll with this too. Of course. Did you really believe we'd slip out in the dead of night to have some dessert? We could always keep the alcohol to ourselves if you're going to complain.
Who's complaining? Though I will say I prefer my booze a little more on the sugary side. Still, nothing beats Eastern liquor when it comes to moon gazing.
You really know what's up. Master Bearguard would take us a sip under the moon every once in a while back when he was in Arteria. It was something he used to do with his fellow martial artists, so I wanted to see what all the hype was about. Man, I really can't wait to go to Arteria one day. Like, it's gotta happen one of these days, surely. It's been talked about since, like, the first arc in the series. It's definitely gonna be a place we at least go at some point. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to hang this series out to dry, for gosh sake. Sharing the same drink the way we share the same master. Makes for a pretty good setup, am I right?
Unexpected company notwithstanding. This chilled Lonlai rice wine is one master himself recommended. They happened to have it at the restaurant, so I placed an order. There are only enough snacks for two, though, so do try to imbibe responsibly. Sure. Sorry for crashing the party. I've been meaning to bring this up, but y'all are really attached to Master, huh? Gotta say, feels a little hero worshipy.
You watch your mouth. What's so wrong about showing the man some respect, huh? It's not just us either. Mention the roaring line to anyone on the Graal's Ritterin.
Simmer down, Zealous. He is an ignorance no explanation can cure. Now, why don't we begin while the moon's still in full view?
Oh. Right. Well, better late than never. To Master Bearguard, may he remain safe and in good health. Cheers!
Cheers.
Conversation began to pick up the trio, regale more about Bearguard. So, and Leon went to Master and said, "Look, we're begging you to find a hobby outside of work. Next time we meet," he rides in on his new wheels with a big old grin on his face. "We're happy to see the guy, but yeesh."
To think that was your influence. That was your influence at work, Van. The austere model knight we called Master was decked.
Wait.
The austere model knight we called Master was decked out in biker gear, and genuinely taken with it at that.
Oh my god, that's really funny, actually. So Van's the entire reason he got a freaking bike? That's really funny.
It was rather conflicting, suffice to say. Hey, his fashion sense is his own business. Not that I wasn't prepared to take the blame anyway.
What'd you expect? The man's our idol, but you're the apple of his eye. He's got a whole lot of other students too, so you'd better batten down your hatches, pal.
Oh, the students, huh? Seems like he has plenty within the church alone. Let's see, there's you two, the vice captain. Oh yeah, what about that porcupine head you guys are working with?
Damn.
I didn't realize you and Kevin were acquainted.
Of course, because why wouldn't we?
But no, he had a different instructor. She passed at a young age, but the influence she had on the lives of him and his partner Rias endures to this day.
Still, I think all of us younger Dominions see Master as a mentor on some level. He's been around even longer than I and Thomas, so the number of people who he's taken under his wing is more than I can count. But as far as martial arts go, his most respectable student is probably Wazi's right-hand man. Abbas worked under him. Huh.
You mean Abbas? I hear he studied the Conlon style under Master Bearguard directly. Though it seems he's recently had his hands full looking after a number of, shall we say, colorful new comrades.
Hey, the fact he can keep them all in line shows how much discipline Master beat into him. Abbas definitely is one of the more disciplined people we've met.
No offense, but the more I hear about these people, the more off the wall you folks sound. Well, we do come from all walks of life. This may sound odd coming from me, but his youngest pupil is likely the least objectionable of the bunch. Good old Gaius.
Yeah. Oh, Gaius. For someone so young, he pretty much has his crap together from the get-go. Yeah. Freaking Silla's just giving him a head pat. Since Master risked his life for and transferred his stigma to the guy, I think he was keen on training him to the brink, though he didn't get the chance.
As a native of the Highlands and an alumnus of Thor's Academy's special class, Guy serves as a reminder for us not to fall behind.
Ah, that's sweet. Guys has always been kind of an interesting kid. Well, at first he was kind of like the most normal. Him and Elliot was like the most normal guys in Class 7, and then Cold Steel 3 came about, and they're like, by the way, this guy's a Dominion.
Unlike a certain someone, I feel there is much to learn from his sincere and diligent example. Would it kill you to stop sneaking jabs at me every other sentence? Damn though. We've got so many stories to dig into that I don't even need any snacks. Speaking of which, you two have been together a pretty long time now, huh? As a duo, I mean. That's the best word for it after seeing the way you mesh. I just get the impression Stigma users ain't usually so buddy-buddy in the Growls Ritter.
Really diving deep there, huh? Me and Leon aren't an item if that's what you're thinking.
Thank heaven for small miracles.
The hell you mean by that, asshole?
Hey, I wasn't trying to imply anything. It's just the hard stuff making me curious is all.
Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare pairing.
I won't press the issue if you'd rather not talk about it. Well, I don't see the benefit in being cagey. You raise a valid point. It's rare for Dominions to team up with one another in lieu of a squire.
Chalk it up to us know each other for over a decade. We got Master Bearguard to thank for that. Really? Oh shit, we're getting like a... Damn, this is a proper deep dive we're getting in here. Right around the time I made Dominion. He brought in some pouty little punk from Adios knows where. Then for Adios knows why, he paired us up. I remember us butting heads from minute one.
Oh shit. That's because in those days, Silas was the very picture of a rambunctious delinquent. She'd fly into a rage and grab me by the collar at the drop of a hat. Every day I would think to myself, why did I have to get stuck with her?
Think? Hell, you said it straight to my face. Yeah, that's more or less how it was for a while. We were the partners who just wouldn't click. No way, no how. But then, well, let's just say shit happened. After that, things started to change a little. Suddenly this Jagoff who... Jagoff? They just couldn't put Jack off, I guess. Pushed my every button, became the one person I trusted to have my back more than anybody. Huh. That CG is interesting. I wonder if we're gonna get more of a dive into that at a later point or something. All according to Master Bearguard's designs, no doubt. Oh, sorry, that was Leon.
He knew that our abysmal chemistry would eventually give way to an unparalleled bond of trust. That from the dark brands both of us bore would come the frost and flames we used to support each other.
Wow, that's real sweet. Crap, I can feel my cheeks getting all blushy.
It's your own fault for letting the liquor loosen your lips. A little forethought might do you some good next time. This is why the vice captain always refers to you as a raging bull, you realize.
Like you're on attack, getting all shit-faced and running your mouth. Oh wait, that's how you are sober too.
Master really knows what he was doing pairing you up. I finally get how you two lasted so long for a square peg in a round hole.
Watch it, wise guy.
I do believe we've overstepped the point of discretion. That said, Van, turnabout is fair play. Don't think you're getting out of this without your own little trip down memory lane. I figured this would circle back to me eventually. You're right, though. I probably owe you two an explanation about what happened back then. With you and Master Bearguard, you mean?
Oh, son of a... We're out of booze, Leon. Man, how the hell we knock these things back so quick?
Let's take that as a sign to wrap things up. This conversation has dragged on long enough. We wouldn't want to hold Van up any more than we already have.
Guess not. I'll just get out of here and make my way back, then. It's fun talking with you guys.
Yeah, same here. Oh, even Leon kind of wanted to probably say nice. Wow. That was a really fucking good one.
I don't intend to make these little meetups a regular occurrence.
Uh-huh.
But I suppose there's no harm in having a chat from time to time.
You're just a big old softy underneath it all, aren't you, Leon? Anyhow, next time we get together to shoot the shit, we'll make you spill your guts.
It'll happen eventually here. Yeah, no, that was just a really nice one. Beep. Alright. And now I reload because even the effects of maxing out their stuff isn't really that worth it. One bond maxed. Oh, interesting. Alright. Yeah, no, that was a really interesting one. I wasn't expecting to get such a deep dive. Of course, they kind of tickled to some of it, and they didn't really lay it all out to bear. They've got more in store for those characters, I suppose. But we'll get around to that eventually. Van decided to go check on Fairy, whom he'd spotted heading toward the island's ruins with a strained look on her face. Surprised to find that someone else had beaten him to the punch.
So, you're her too? I figured as much.
Like hell you did. I was bored, so I came by to watch. It's not that deep. Anyway, what's your take on that? The way you carry yourself and your weapon has certainly improved. But in the end, the weight of your blade is as ephemeral as it ever was. Feed the fire within you and stoke it well, lest it eventually burns out.
I can keep going. Just one more rematch.
So long as there are still hurdles you've yet to surmount, the outcome won't change. My role here is finished. I'll leave the rest to your boss and colleague.
Van? Aaron? Are you eavesdropping?
Not well enough to slip a certain someone's notice. Can't say we're the best choices to fill in for you, though. Seriously, man, how are you just gonna chuck your own flesh and blood out like yesterday's trash?
There is no filling in to be done. The issue lies with Farida herself. As was stated in Lawnport, I have nothing more to say on the matter. Not until you're able to face your inner flame.
What do you even mean by that, bro? Like, you're just kind of saying shit, I feel like. You do realize she's a child, right? What a whack job.
Kasim.
And at this point, I think he gets off on the whole vague and mysterious shtick.
Yeah, for real.
So, what now? You want a sparring partner? I'm game. Going against someone as many leagues above you as your brother ain't gonna be much of a crash course. But I could always pass along some of his combat tips from back when he was my instructor.
Van, Aaron. If you really don't mind, then yeah, let's do it.
And then they clash.
And then he finally decided to take a break once his stamina ran out. Whoop, cut off my mic for a second there. Well, still got another fight in me. You up for it?
It's okay. I don't want to bite you two out. It's enough training for one evening anyway. Besides, I need to cool off and get some thinking done.
That what Qasim told you? Guess it'd be tough not to dwell on it. Seems like he really gave you the cold shoulder back in Lawnport, too. Was there something he said that when you returned home last year?
No hiding anything from you, huh, Van?
Your priestess duties went off without a hitch, though, right?
I did learn the dances they'd passed on in my village, and I performed the rituals like I was supposed to. But apparently the point of it all went completely over my head. The dance is supposed to communicate some sort of hidden meaning. I never figured out what it was.
Farida, the true purpose of this ritual is for the Children of Flames to confront the origins of the Kruga. You must grasp its meaning by yourself and spark the fire inside, stealing you for the times to come. just as our distant kinsmen once did to fulfill the duties demanded of them long ago. Fail to do the same, and you will soon reach your limits. Distant kinsmen? Well, think of it. There's that one tribe in the buffer zone between us and the Empire.
Wait, huh? One tribe in the buffer zone between us and the Empire. Okay, they're not talking about... Are they talking about the Nord Highlands? I was gonna say, because I'm trying to think, like, stuff between buffer zone, eh? Yeah, it's gotta be, like, Nord, right? Unless there's another place we haven't seen. But I never realized there was more to it until Qasim said so. What's wrong with me? How did I not even know what the pride of our people is built on?
Wish I had the answers. All I can say is that your bro's got an even bigger stick up his ass than he did last year. Yeah, Compson's a reasonable guy, but there's clearly more going on beneath the surface here. Still, everyone's got to figure out their own personal style facing up to things for himself. There's a reason your old man's trying to give you the opportunity to broaden your horizons.
Yeah, I think I'm getting what Abi and Qasim are going for here. It's just, even if I do come up with my own answer, how am I supposed to know if it's good enough? The more I mull it over, the more confused I get.
Ah, jeez, this isn't like you, small fry. That attitude's just gonna put a damper on your inner flame or whatever. It's times like this when you gotta let loose and live a little.
What you got there?
How about that? Great minds think alike. Huh? Huh? Don't tell me you brought some too.
What?
Oh, sparklers.
That's funny. Wow, look how pretty these sparklers are. They even come in different colors. It's just so... Wow.
Can't remember how many years it's been since I last held one of these. They're giving them away for free at the villa, so I figured they'd be a fun way to kill time. Apparently, I wasn't the only one. Pfft, quit trying to psychoanalyze me. I just got to thinking of how me and my mom and Asha used to do this a long time ago. It's not so bad once in a while.
Yeah, definitely. Sparklers sure are strange, huh? They burn a lot weaker than, say, a bonfire, but all the colors and shapes they come in are so mesmerizing. I wonder if it's okay for the Kruger's flames to take different forms too. Maybe it's not all about strength. Maybe each person's flame is colored by the things they've experienced.
If that makes sense to you, then it's all the explanation you need. That's what I always say. May have a duty to your family. But how you choose to fill it is up to you, no one else. Same applies to your brother. I'll bet he had to take a good long look at himself before he managed to choose his own path. Choose his own path, huh?
You're right. Qasim must have gone through this too. Thanks, you two, for everything.
Don't sweat it, small fry. Hell's with the googly eyes. You got something to confess? It's just nice to see you cheer up a bit little. Ain't often you're this thoughtful to Fairy either. Guessing you've had a lot on your mind lately. Yeah, well, all that BS of Sao and Gaolan really got under my skin. But you know, at some point it hit me. If all I do is sulk behind them, I will never be able to pull ahead. So while you figure out how to face yourself, I'm gonna be right at your side blazing my trail.
Hearing.
Sounds like a plan to me. I'll do my part to keep your ass afloat. So grind on till you're satisfied with where you end up. Like I need your permission.
Aw, that's really sweet, actually. Aw, it went out. I feel a little bad we didn't get to share this with the others.
Ain't no time like the present, when you say we call everyone over. We got more sparklers than we know what to do with. Might as well go another round.
And then they summoned everyone to have them all hold them. Oh wow, we're actually doing it.
They're so pretty. That's what I said. Yeah, this is a nice change of pace. Are you seeing this, S?
I'm looking. Settle down before you burn somebody.
There are plenty more to spare, so please have at it.
Hell yeah, keep lighting those babies up. Never a dull moment with this bunch. Meanwhile, Sal's like, yes, I love sparklers too. At last, he begins to put things behind him. I'm expecting much out of you, Aaron Way. Keep striving, Farida. Don't stop until you've found your answer. Now I will walk off with aura and purpose.
Man, that was nice. I've said it before, and I think that Fairy and Aaron are a nice little duo that we don't really see as much of, that I wish we got to see more of. So I'm glad we got this at least.
I'm sorry for making you worry, but thanks to you, I feel like I'm that much closer to figuring out what my flame should be.
You know, I think I'm feeling a little better too. Let's all do this again sometime.
Little guy's actually happy. But yeah, no, that was a really nice one. I think it's really great how they, what was I gonna say? Despite the fact that it was mainly focused on Fairy, at the end it kind of changed over to being about Aaron, and I like how in both cases they did like really cool stuff. Even like during the first half when it was mostly about Fairy, they still did some stuff that hinted towards like Aaron development and stuff like that and self-reflection, and I think that's a really nice way to go about it at times.
What's next?
All right, and then we have this. Now for the Goyles.
So where our two starlets are staying, funny if they'd wind up bunking together.
Forget it, I'm telling you I have to start with someone on the lighter side. But spine-tingling horror is the perfect fit for a resort getaway.
The heck are they arguing about? Hey, you two good in there?
Oh, hello, Van. What do you think you're doing barging into a lady's room like you own the place?
Hey, I knocked, didn't I? The voices were carrying into the hallway. They told me you two were fighting.
Fighting? Pfft, as if. Me and Nina were just planning to spend the evening binging some flicks. The only issue is we can't seem to agree on what to watch first.
So you're putting on a movie marathon, huh? I see they even brought up a widescreen for the occasion.
Yes, we found that the villa offered a free checkout service for them. I figured why not? I mean, how often do me and Nina get to room together? Sure, this is a vacation spot, but there's no shame relaxing indoors, right?
Doesn't bother me none. All the running around we did earlier was probably tuckered you out. Besides, a pair of top actresses watching movies back to back sounds like a pretty swell time.
But yeah, why don't you join us then?
Hey, this supposed to be more of a girls' night? Wouldn't want some guy spoiling that.
We don't mind in the least. As a matter of fact, we've been hoping to talk films with you for a while now. Yeah, can't put a price on raw feedback from a movie buff. So, are you gonna get your butt in here or not? You can help yourself to anything from the bar too. We'll even let you pick out the first movie to kick us off.
Well, at least we won't have to worry about the paparazzi in a place like this. Alright. I guess I can sit in for a bit.
Oh, that's sweet. Watch along with two of the biggest names in cinema. I'm like slowly drinking my water so it doesn't run out by the time I'm at the end of it. I think I already saw this in the previous game. It's probably just repeated text if anything. Ooh. Nikke Marceau is amazing in this. She switches between roles like it's nothing.
Yeah, her screen presence is incredible.
Agreed. It's almost chilling how well she can shift the atmosphere. Maybe I should try emulating that. This is a dog-eat-dog industry. One night with that cretin is nothing if it gets me some work. This is getting us nowhere. I'm so tired of all this. I just want to get away. I'll go back to the old me and...
Damn.
Bravo! You nailed that! I was beginning to think you were straight up possessed. Oh, stop it. Anyway, back to the movie. What a bunch of jokesters. Oh god, this one.
I won the Z1 car model from the sweepstakes. You're the best, Mishi. Oh, give me those meaty, harvest boots now, huh? Then I can become a real human.
This movie's just adorable, even if it does have some bite to it. Oh wait, sorry, that was Nina. No kidding. Takes a real wild turn for something geared towards kids.
Yeah, they're pouring out of the theaters in tears. Come to think of it, Elaine mentioned seeing this too. She gave it a rave review while we were catching up over drinks last year. Can't take the word of a Mishi not like her at face value, though.
Well, you can't just bring her up and expect me not to sink my teeth in. Been waiting too long to hear the juicy deets on your sweet little high school escapades. Oh, I'm glad we're sinking into this. Like, having talk between these two on this is really fun. I had no idea. Now you've got me curious, too. Look at Van. Look at this dude. He just does not give a shit. He wishes he was anywhere else. Fuck, why'd they bring her up? Ugh. Van Arkwright and Elena Claire together. Just what sort of relationship did you have?
And what one will you have in the future? Alright, quit pecking at me, you starving harpies.
No, don't go away from that. I want to talk about it more. Oh, this. Look away, sir. I'm really not used to this sort of thing. The two of them looking at this. You know, this wouldn't be half as awkward if you two weren't staring a hole into the screen.
What's the problem? I'm mistaken what a great actress Judith Lanster is.
Yes, the way you portray Zoe's embarrassment is so true to life. Maybe we should rewind and give that scene a closer look. Oh, you're asking for it now, Nina. Let's see how you like this. Take that. Oh god, never mind. I thought she was gonna she was taking out the movie and put it on like one of her most embarrassing scenes or something, but no. No, have mercy, Judith. I can't see the movie.
Okay, now I'm really starting to feel like a third wheel. Gay, homosexual, gay. Man, you two really know how to pick 'em. I don't think there was a single dud in the bunch. So, what's next on the list?
Glad you asked. You're in for a real surprise. We managed to get our hands on the digital copies of each of our latest films.
Shut up! You serious? Is that even allowed?
Of course. Both of them have had preview screenings these past few days anyway. We're doing a magazine collaboration where the two of us reported on each other's performances. That's how we got these files. They even gave us permission to show them to friends as long as they followed the non-disclosure agreement. Good old NDAs. It's getting late though, so we'll probably only have time for one of them, and as a guest of honor, you get to decide which.
No pressure, huh?
Just pick whichever one speaks to you. You can always catch the other in theaters. Oh, this is actually sick! Though if you'd like a recommendation, I suggest watching Judith and the Adventures of Rockford, Golden Calamity. It's a swashbuckler set in an ancient ruin. The release was met with great critical acclaim, so I've been looking forward to seeing it. No way, we should watch Arena and Mike Casablanca. It's a bittersweet story about young love at a prestigious girls' school. I've been dying to check it out.
Former's a blockbuster that hasn't been playing in any of the places I've gone, but the latter ain't even out in public yet. Damn, I hate to miss out on either.
Oh, so we get to see either.
Give me the Adventures of Rockford.
That settles that. Have it your way. I'll go start it up. This isn't one I've seen as. Okay, it isn't.
I'll be taking that.
Hand over the staff. Or would you prefer I put a bullet in this poor girl's head?
No. Please, don't do it, Rita.
Good, my delivery turned out the way I hoped. Now I won't have to worry about the acoustics taken away from the intent.
She's practically in a trance. Must be an A-list actress then.
Judith's performance is brimming with energy to the point where even the audience can feel it. Maybe I just can't compete with the genuine article. Phew-wee! I am spent! That was a real fun time, though. It was nice to give my technique a once-over.
You made it sound like this was for leisure, but you had your game face on the whole time.
It's true. Your dedication never fails to impress me, Judith. Aw, you're too kind. But feel free to go on.
Man, though, I'm still reeling over the perks I get out of knowing you two. Still, part of me does feel like a brand new movie should be enjoyed on the big screen.
I don't blame you. There's no substitute for the magic of a full cinematic experience.
Shoot, now I feel kind of bad for robbing you of that.
Hey, don't think twice about it. Not everyone gets insider access to private showings like this. I'm sure I'll pay the silver screens another visit sometime soon anyway. That just gives me an excuse to go see it again.
That's very sweet of you to say.
Maudlin face, Nina.
Oh, I was just thinking about how lucky I am to be a part of this industry. So many people take... God, the freaking physics. So many people take joy in our work and form opinions on the performances we give. And getting the opportunities to work with you, Mr. Gotti, Mr. Lam, and so many others has been such a blessing. It almost feels wasted on someone like me.
Huh?
Sorry, I didn't mean to go on and on about myself like that.
No worries. I think it's important to be grateful for what we have. Doubly so for big names like us. It's all too easy to get snooty once you climb to the top. Still, Nina, modesty or not, you shouldn't put yourself down with that someone like me talk. Films are built on the talents of huge groups of people working together. No one actor comes up with their performances in a vacuum. Acting skills alone aren't enough. It takes good scripting, direction, art, sound design, even a good manager. All of those things gelling together are what makes a movie. And by extension, you, the real deal. Why is it so noticeable with Nina in particular whenever she does like the hand to chest thing and just has the physics go insane? You get what I'm saying, right?
Yes, I suppose I owe an apology for being unfair. To the production team, the audience, and myself most of all.
Right. Have some confidence, Nina. There's no one else out there who's quite like you. Van and I can vouch for how amazing you are, and so can the people watching you on screen.
I appreciate that.
Hell, even if you weren't an actress, our opinion probably wouldn't change. I think you'd be surprised at how well the fans would take this genuine offstage version of you.
Huh? Come to think of it, maybe the several drinks we had were to blame, but I feel as though I've been a little unprofessional this evening.
Join the club. This has the same vibe as me hanging out in my room back home.
I'm pretty used to it with Judith, but this is the first time seeing a more personal side of you. Still, it's just another part of what makes you Nina Fenley. You still got a lot to figure out at your age, but as long as you don't lose your sight of yourself, things will turn out just fine.
Right, I'll take that to heart. Thank you both. Maybe someday I'll learn to have the same self-confidence they have.
On the flip side, I'm not sure I've ever seen you get so mentally, Judith. I figured even the folks at the talent agency were rolling their eyes trying to keep your bungling butt out of trouble.
My butt is not bungling. Wait, people don't actually do that, do they, Nina?
Oh, no, that's neither here nor there. Anyway, why don't we chat a while about what we just watched? I'd love to hear your thoughts on some of the scenes.
Yeah, that sounds fun. I could stand to hit the sauce a little more anyway.
Hey, don't judge the question. That was fun.
I very much enjoyed that. Although, I'm a little embarrassed that you saw me acting so different from how I am in public.
Don't sweat it. I've already dropped the facade around this group a long time ago. Wait. That's not what I meant. Hey, what's with that smug grin?
That was funny how it was all like built off each other, just like one of them was tied to the other. Oh my god. Anyways, level 3 for Van, finally. Strength and defense +5. Those were some fun events. Ah, man. Man, I feel a bit... Sorry, my throat's just kind of feeling out of it. I have to like take a bit of a breather sometimes. No, those were both very fun. It was nice getting to see more with those two. And I am going to stick with it because, you know, I feel like leveling up Arkwright Solutions members kind of matters more at a base level. I don't know how else to put it. Let's see. Actually, hold up. I haven't really looked in a while. Because we've got we've got 2 1/4. Well, you know, we have over 2 pages of people that we can fill out here. We've got some people at higher levels. We got some people at lower levels. Some of them are just kind of like, yeah, you don't have to do much to... I mean, I guess overall the game's been pretty kind on how many points it gives you. Like, Van's already at 3 stars. Most of Arkwright Solutions is like mid-level 2. Elaine's at 3 stars. Shizuna's at 3 stars. Nadia and Swin are at 3 stars. And yeah, no, we're just doing pretty well overall, I'd say.
Create a cocktail.
Sure.
Who do I invite? Underage members can get their drinks non-alcoholic, so anyone's fair game.
Let's see here. Let's go Elaine.
Might as well.
I gotta get every little bit of shipping fuel that I can.
All the basic components here, but we need to provide an extra layer to both the flavor and presentation.
I assume this is kind of like what it was in what was it, Cold Steel 3 or whatever, where like everyone had like all the pastries that they make. This is probably like a different drink for everyone. It would be best to avoid drinking given my agenda these next few days.
But they do say alcohol in moderation can be good for one's health.
Very well, I'll come along. 1 glass is a pick-me-up, couldn't hurt. Oh, we literally just travel out and go grab this shit. Interesting. We're gonna have any voice acting or? Maybe? We got this.
Let's give this a try.
Yeah, I guess it is just kind of literally wander and get this shit. So, be back. There we are. Meet the Ismelis lady. It's a white lady with mint flavoring added in.
Should have figured you'd use your favorite as a base.
Oh? What makes you think it's my favorite?
It's what you always had whenever the 3 of us went to Bermati's. I ordered one the last time we were at Shino's place too, remember? Astute as ever. Call me a sap, but I'll never forget the first time you and me had a drink together.
Oh. Well, I hope you remember this one just as well. I put a piece of myself into it, after all.
Yeah? What are we waiting for? Bottoms up.
Ooh, that's the stuff.
What is this deal?
What might an Ismelis lady represent? I've heard every cocktail has a symbolic meaning.
You say someone?
Not at all. I'm just offering some food for thought. That's sweet. Oh, and you do get a bit of points towards it. That's cool. Perfect vacation. All 3 activities. So I guess I can do a bunch of these. And because of that, hold up while I go and get more points. Next up on the list. This is a layered drink I'm calling Snow, Moon, and Flowers. Not too shabby if I do say so myself.
Top part's a snow, the bottom is the moon, and the garnish on top is a single flower. Pretty artsy of you.
Hey, a drink like this is just begging for a certain level of refinement. Tossing things in all willy-nilly would be no better than picking a fight at random.
Not too convincing coming from someone who brawls first and asks questions later.
True, but I choose my opponents carefully. You're always on the list of candidates though, Van.
Don't suppose you can withdraw my nomination? For the rest of eternity, ideally.
Every battle is a once-in-a-lifetime event. I like to think of each one as something worth treasuring. Just like this cocktail.
I think I follow. You'll never experience the same flavor twice. Gonna have to keep that in mind while it's going down.
Ooh-wee! That's the stuff.
So, this is a special blend you can't get anywhere else. Well, it sure is good.
Alright, that was a nice one. Just a few little points I get. Hours to the 3rd. Random fact, but did you know there's a ton of toxic plants on this island?
Why would you bring it up now of all times?
I'm also good at slipping poison in people's cups without them noticing.
Don't even think about it.
Aw, I'm just joshing ya.
Ooh, it's both sweet and sour. I like it.
Ooh, That's the stuff.
Didn't even say anything. It's cute on the surface and sweet at first at sip, but with a tangy aftertaste waiting to ambush you. Got me hook, line, and sinker.
That just means my premium pinky float worked its magic though, right?
Yeah, I can see myself growing attached to this, which about sums up you in a nutshell.
Score! Not even Van is immune to my charms. All it needs now is a few drops of love potion and S will be mine, mine, mine!
A few drops of what now?
I'm only fooling. My feelings are 100% organic with no artificial flavoring.
Alright, you've got my blessing.
Alright, that was a pretty short one, all things considered. Some of them are kind of longer. Presenting my pride and joy, the Golden Kiss.
Named after the hit movie Golden Blood, I take it.
What else? Now hurry up and try some.
That hit the spot.
Ooh-wee.
Ooh-wee!
Mint flavor adds an extra layer I didn't see coming. Betray my expectations in a good way.
Notice? That's kind of the point, actually.
I get you. Good drink has a hidden depth of flavor, much like a good woman has her secrets. Couldn't think of a more fitting cocktail for Golden Blood. Who are you?
Oh, stop it. You know me too well.
Only difference is it actually manages to keep it secret, unlike a certain mass vigilante I know.
Oh, why'd you have to spoil it? White. I call it the electrolyte. As the name implies, it's a non-alcoholic cocktail inspired by energy drinks. I meticulously measured out all the ingredients in order to supply the drinker with salt and sugar at optimal efficiency.
Let's see how well it works, then.
Oh, it's sweet. Hell yeah. I'll take 20 more.
Oh, that's funny.
Ah, that was great.
I like that he has a different frickin' I don't know if that was because of like the specific type that he had, or if it's just because, I don't know. It could just be because like he has generic lines and he's just kept getting the hoo-wee. Honestly, I was a little worried the taste would be a deal breaker. Seems to dodge that bullet though.
Yeah, this make a perfect way to cap off a long, exhausting day. It's soothing from sip to swallow. Almost like you infuse some of your own gentle soul into it.
A bit on the corny side, but I won't complain. Aw.
Now this is what I call service. Time to whip up a one-way ticket to Shitface Central. Hey, don't go throwing in anything too crazy. I gotta drink your poison too, you know. Ah, come off it, Pops. You're telling me even your booze needs to be sugared up? I'm just worried about the kid in front of me who's about to hit the bottle so hard it'll hit him back. Says you. Cute.
That's the good shit right there.
It hasn't even faded in yet. Bro just chugged it.
Ooh-wee.
I was gonna say, show it.
Well, my spiked punch up to snuff or what? Taste how it looks, more or less. But damn, could have made this drier if you tried. That's how it should be. Went balls to the wall and the alcohol content too. Otherwise, what's the fun in drinking at all? You're already feeling the buzz, yeah? I'll say. Hits you like, well, a punch, then leaves you wanting more. Bottoms up then. I'll haul your ass back up to your room if you black out. What kind of lightweight do you take me for? Damn punk.
Those two never stop bickering, do they? Oh, it's kind of similar, but also blue instead.
Damn, that crystal clear color is gorgeous.
The summer sky was my inspiration. I call it the cerulean heart. Please give it a try.
Gladly.
Ooh-wee. That's the stuff.
I was gonna say, I feel like Rosette is a good one to end it off on here, because if anyone's gonna actually make just like a genuinely good thing, I trust the maid.
The flavor is sublime, if a little unusual.
Just as refreshing as it looks. Little bits of blue caviar, a nice touch.
That bracing sensation was exactly what I intended. It took quite a bit of trial and error to achieve it.
Wouldn't be a Rosette original without a splash of elbow grease. Thanks for always going above and beyond.
You're very welcome.
Nah. Alright. Points for everyone that I needed. And it's just kind of nice little things here and there, you know? Not really too much else to mention. Well, speaking of which, looking around the island at night, not really much else to do here, is there? I think it's just time to call things off here. Well, do I want to go into the next day or anything? We're probably going to have shit kind of hit the fan. I can probably just... Now, we can just have this be an episode of just chilling. Next time on Trails to Daybreak 2, though, we'll see what's happening on the next day here. Thank you all very much for watching. Adios, ciao, and bye-bye. Signing off until next time. Ja matane.